All right, so back on it, passing by this nice park. Fortunately, it's empty, which is not good for the park, but good for, let's say, if we wanted to go into that park. Hey, and that's one thing I have come to appreciate over the years, is parks. Whatever city, town you come out of, there's bound to be some nice parks for you to roam around and enjoy, hopefully free of charge. I know some of them might charge you a small fee for parking, but that's one thing I've come to enjoy is parks, because they offer you the ability to just simply sit down and observe nature and enjoy it in a park. And some also have gyms, little portable exercise areas for you to get a little workout in, and also be able to invite a friend. So with those parks, I really love them because you can go there, hang out with a friend, enjoy it. You don't have to go out to the club or the bar to socialize and interact and have a nice time. Unfortunately, you don't have to have, 10 drinks in your system, or unfortunately drugs, which I'd hate to mention. But although you could do those things before or after the park, I'm not here to tell you what you can or should or shouldn't do. But that simple act of going to the park and hanging out, possibly meeting a new person, or if you're a guy, possibly meeting a new chick, or a girl, meeting a cute guy over there that's eyeing you. Alright, so what were we talking about? Yeah, parks. So I've come to appreciate those beautiful things we call parks. And as we pass by a nice one over here known as Ingraham Park, over here in Coral Gables, you can probably see the nice fountain and benches. I mean, why wouldn't you stop yourself from simply just going and sitting down and having a nice chat there? Why would you sort of hinder yourself and force yourself to pay either a cover, simply to get in, or a valet parking charge, whatever you might pay to enter social establishments? There's no cover to go in there. It's right there, right for you to enjoy. The city puts it there for a reason, for people, for citizens. And possibly you might argue the reason why they do these things is to keep people off the streets, keep people from committing crimes and doing drugs and doing malicious behavior, because those things aren't good for the city as a whole. They're degenerative. So in order to progress and bring, and even though you might say, and I agree with you, they're nice places, they decorate a city, they make it look nice, there's a deeper reason beyond why they're there. They're not just there to look pretty and look cool. They're there to give a positive light and positive energy within a city for people to come and take that in and give it off in the rest of their day, instead of absorbing negative energy. Hopefully that positive energy of that park can sort of change them in a way and affect them and make them think twice before they do something wrong or commit cruel acts to others. So that's sort of a deep reasoning, in my opinion, as to why these structures called parks emanate and why I love them so much. And I think you might enjoy them as well, so you might come to like them. So whichever city you're in, check out a park, hang out there, watch the sunset, do whatever you want to do, And I promise you, you won't regret it. So let's see. Ooh, we might even argue that this right here is a park. Even though we're just running by people's houses and stuff, we are arguably in a park going around because it's free to access. Anybody can just come by here and go for a run, whatever they want to do, go for a walk, go on the bike. And I come to enjoy that. It's nice, you know, a nice little thing within my town. I'm able to, and in this case, I'm thankful for these beautiful trees, the nice shade I'm able to enjoy that cover this beautiful walking path that I'm enjoying right now, that I'm running on, that I probably, you know, you might argue I pay taxes. This is, you know, I pay for this, but regardless, they're gonna be here whether you probably have not so much control as to whether these structures exist or not, but they're there for you to enjoy, so might as well go out and enjoy them in your city. And I can't complain. They're here. I run through them. I love them. You should as well. They'll probably lead you in a more healthier direction for both, not only your body, but I'd say your mind as well, because it's mentally refreshing to go through these trails and these paths and take in this case, nature, and just listening to the wind move around you and hearing the animals, hearing the birds chirp by you. It makes you more aware of something called the present moment and taking it in and enjoying it. As little as it may seem, you don't need the bright lights and the champagne bottles and the, you know, big things that, let's say, a club or a, you know, luxurious thing they might offer you. You don't necessarily need that, in my opinion. You know, I'll tell you that I'm a simple person. It doesn't take much to, you know, please me, make me happy, make me satisfied with my day-to-day life. I'll tell you that doing those, having done those complex activities before, whether it may be, you know, going to clubs, going to house parties, you know, those things that you might say that arguably doing those things were, you could say, detrimental, but I wouldn't necessarily say that for me. But I learned from those experiences, I grew from them. I understand what it's like to be in environments like those, and I still have, you know, friends of mine, people that I know that still partake in those activities, and I might as well participate in them, go out to the club every once in a while and enjoy that. I'm not, you know, berating them or putting them down in a way. I'm just saying that to understand that that's not the end all be all. It's not the minimum requirement for you to hopefully be satisfied and enjoy the activities of what you do every day in your day-to-day encounters. I'll tell you this, I used to be like that. I used to hate my job and be bored throughout the day and wanting to go out for a night of fun and a night of craziness, lose myself, you know, in the lights and the music and the drinks. But after doing that, I realized, at least for me, that that wasn't everything, that wasn't what it meant to be. It just felt empty, like it wasn't all that I thought it was gonna be. But growing up, I was sort of naive, or, you know, stubborn in a sense, because I thought that that would bring lasting joy, lasting happiness. It was everything. I wanted to be the cool kid at the party and enjoying it and getting every girl and having every dude come up and say what's up and interact with everybody. But that's not to say that those things aren't bad. It's good to have those, let's say, social skills of interacting with other people, being able to go up and talk to people, introduce yourself, tell them your message, and also listen to theirs, which is a very important thing, is listening and having your listening skills up to par, because nobody wants to talk to somebody that just spews out what they have to say and walks away and doesn't listen to them. And that's one big skill that you'll hear from big figures, let's say like a Bill Clinton or a Tony Robbins, is that not only are they known for being these big and huge public figures, giving these big speeches and giving their message out, one big thing about them is they're remarkable listeners. They're able to make you feel heard in a sense, and for them that may be very hard given the nature of their celebrity or their fame and all the people they come across. You know, it might be hard looking at them and making them feel heard because there's just simply so many of them. But what they've learned is how to make everyone sort of feel like a best friend. That's one thing I learned, is that a lot of people, they watch Oprah, and you know, that helped her rise to become who she is. It wasn't just because, hey, she's Oprah, she's got this show, but those people, those millions of people tuned in at 6 o'clock or whatever time they tuned in to see her, they weren't there just to see Oprah. They were there to see their best friend, Oprah. Because she had them convinced, and she made them feel as if all those people watching her were her best friend, right there with her, as she interviewed these people on her show and laughed and smiled and offered her warming presence to those people. They liked that. You know, it radiated, it resonated with them. And for that reason, they've come to admire Oprah as a sort of figure, you know, to admire. And that probably led to her having this massive amount of wealth and fame and admiration by so many people. It wasn't by accident. She knew what she was doing, and she did it well. So for you, in your work environment or gym or wherever you go in your day-to-day life, interact with people, make them feel heard, make them genuinely feel that you're listening to them, that whatever they have to say, you care about. And really try that, because I know some of you, when you, and I'm guilty of this as well, when I interacted with others, I was preoccupied with, what am I gonna say next? What am I gonna do? How do I look? All this stuff. When in reality, you should be focusing on the other person you're talking to. Lose that self-consciousness, as it's called, when you're out and about interacting with others, because all that worry and anxiety you're placing on yourself and looking good, saying the right things, is ultimately distracting you from what they're saying, what that person you're talking to is saying. And that ultimately ruins the conversation, because you're not listening to them. Whatever they're saying is going right over your head, and you're not, they don't feel heard by you. And so what you got to do is you got to really try this. Focus on that other person. Look them in the eyes. Notice little things about them. Their shirt, you know, their shoes, what they're wearing, and probably compliment them. You know, if you genuinely feel that you like their shirt or their shoes, why not tell them? You know, what do you have to lose? Say to that person, what are they gonna do? You know, tell you to get out of their face, or disown. I wouldn't say disown, but you get the gist of it. why would they berate you for simply being nice and giving them a compliment? And even if they did, it probably tells you more about them than it does about yourself. So why worry about that? Be you. And you might feel inclined to give somebody a compliment regardless, even if you don't really like their shirt, but you feel inclined because they're your boss or whoever your superiors are, and you may feel the need to make them feel better about their day, make them like you more, which you could do, but you may not be the best actor in the world or a person to give a convincing sort of statement or thing like that. So I would suggest is listen, be aware of your senses, be aware of what you notice, and let it come out of your mouth. Hopefully it's positive. You might notice that guy is wearing the wrong color shirt, or he's not dressed right. Maybe that one guy at the party that's dressed like he's not supposed to be there, which he may not necessarily want to reveal it to him, but there ultimately is a way to do that, which comes with time. But at first, you want to focus on the positive things, those joyful things, those positive aspects of the people that you encounter every day throughout your life, and give them that compliment, that staple of reassurance, because they might turn it back around at you and compliment you, which is what will probably happen a lot of times. And you'll not only realize things that you weren't thinking about, something you'll realize, oh wow, I didn't realize I picked a nice outfit today. Or if you're a girl, and some guys do this as well, you're wearing a nice set of makeup, some mascara, and a girl comes up to you and says, wow, you look amazing today, how did you do that, and all this stuff. And it'll make you happy and smile. And guess what, from that experience, you might be more likely to do that. Hi, what's up? Thank you, bro. How's it going? And you might want to radiate that energy. You'll be more inclined to give someone else a compliment, and guess what, that person will be more inclined to give you a compliment. And it's a back and forth thing, almost a trade-off. And you would say a snowball effect, because just one compliment gets you another one, and then you'll do another one, and back and forth. And before you know it, that might turn into friendships or lasting relationships, loving relationships, not only with friends, but also lovers as well. So you never know. Don't be afraid to give that compliment, or speak your mind in a sense. Hopefully it's positive, not negative. The negative things you'll get to later. When you're that coach or that mentor, that guide, or simply that concerned boyfriend or girlfriend, you want to be able to speak your mind and tell somebody when you feel something's wrong or should be different. But that takes a certain degree of skill and more difficulty, because it's much easier to say positive things based upon the reactions you may get and the possible rewards that may come in play. So let's cross the street real quick and wait. So we were able to cross the street, and yeah, and man, I really appreciate it when people come up to me and compliment me and whatever it may be. They could be lying to my face, but I'll tell you that it does one thing, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy about whatever I did. I'm proud that somebody acknowledges that and understands that. And it humbles you in a sense. And it's not for one to take it as pride, as ego, as I'm the shit, I'm the best at this, no one can touch me. Obviously that has its place if you want to be competitive, you want to be a Michael Jordan, you want to be a Tiger Woods. which is good. But if you're just a normal dude going about his day-to-day life and you don't want to seem quite obnoxious and be friendly with the people you encounter, you don't want to think like that. But if you want to be the best at what you do, that is obviously and certainly probably an option for you. So, and I'll tell you this, I have times where I think like that, where I simply want to put the whole world aside and do what I'm trying to do, whether it be, you know, bench more plates or grind out the last sets of my workout, or even if you see me in the gym and stuff, which you probably haven't, but I put a towel on my head at times, and it's not necessarily to keep the sweat off of my head, even though that's nice and it keeps it from going in my eyes. It's mainly to cover the outside, and how do you say, the outside distractions